So we'll continue with Padampa Sangye, the Indian yogis' 100 verses of advice that is so relevant for all of us during these days. In the lockdown, we have more time to look at our mind, we have more time to think about the Dharma, I think. Many people have more time. You do less traveling, you do less socializing, you do less shopping. So it should create more time. Some people don't go to work, working from home. It varies, of course, but in any case, whatever your situation is, I think his advice is very relevant. So here he says, if your perseverance has no strength, you will not reach Buddhahood. Make sure you don that armor of perseverance. So he's saying on the spiritual path, whatever it is we are aiming to do, in fact, like on the spiritual path, we're aiming ultimately for Buddhahood, but whatever our aim is on the spiritual path, if we think, well, I just want to get to point B before I get to point C, to point D, if we're not even thinking about Buddhahood, if we're thinking, I just want to get my mind sorted out, I just want to get myself sorted out, I just want to get my daily life, I just want to be able to handle all the challenges of daily life. Whatever our goal is, we need perseverance because we need to develop, we need to change, we need to grow our strengths, we need to become more skillful, we need to change our habits. It's like in all the, it's not only the spiritual paths, it's in all our work areas, in whatever you're doing to make a living. If you're studying, you have a job in your family life, if you are an artist or you have any sort of skill you want to develop, the only way to develop that really is to apply ourselves, right? We need to persevere, we need to be diligent, we need to do it over and over again. It doesn't just happen. We're not born with an innate skill. I think all those little children that you see sometimes, little wonder children, little geniuses, they must have very perseverant parents because it's the parents that are encouraging them all the time to play the piano again and again and again, or to solve the riddles that they're so good at solving, or to play the violin, whatever it is that they're so amazingly good at. When you see a small child like that playing a violin, or a piano, you can't believe it. How did they learn that? So maybe their parents had a lot of perseverance. I don't know, maybe the children really wanted to do it, or maybe they would have just gone out to play if their parents had let them do it. But there's some element of perseverance in all aspects of life. When we achieve something, we achieve a result. And it really means that if we just keep doing it and keep doing it, we will learn. We are capable. We are totally capable. We need to remember that if ever we feel discouraged, if ever we feel lack of confidence, we have to remember we all have abilities, we all have capabilities, we can all change, certain aspects that we feel incomplete about, we can all develop positive aspects. There's really no reason why not, except if we don't have perseverance. And in order to have that and to apply ourselves, we do have to have some interest. So I guess those children do have some interest in playing and in developing those skills. Otherwise, maybe the parents would not have been able to encourage them to practice and to develop to that degree. Because we sort of need to want to do it. We need to believe in what we are doing. We need to have interest. We need to have a kind of a trust and inspiration. When we say the Dharma, like to reach Buddhahood, we have to we have to have trust in the Dharma. As a Buddhist, we take refuge in the three jewels. We take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, because we feel this trust and devotion and inspiration in the Dharma path and in what the Buddhist teachings are telling us about the mind and about the potential of the mind and about us and the impermanence of all things around us, about the suffering in the world, and all of these different questions and things and activities that we see in life around us. So perseverance is extremely important, diligence, but not diligence like just hard work, but of course diligence, it does imply effort, but it means joyful perseverance. So it has that quality of real appreciation that I think as Dharma practitioners we must never allow that appreciation to die out. We must never allow the appreciation and gratitude and inspiration for the Dharma to dissolve and to become dry and to become sort of not alive anymore. Then our Dharma practice will not develop. We will not continue to grow on the path. We will not continue to benefit. It has to stay alive. It's like a plant. It's like anything around us in nature. We have to nurture it. We have to look after it. By nurturing it and looking after it means that we are aware of it is there. It is there. We appreciate it. We say, yes, that plant, that little sprout that is coming up, it is there. We see it. We're aware of it. We protect it. We look after it. We nurture it. And we really want it to grow. We really care about it. Our Dharma path is like that. In the beginning, it's like a sprout, and it's quite fragile as a sprout, as any sprout. We're all quite fragile. All our minds are quite fragile. We are very influenced by so many things around us. And in one instant, our mind can become negative, then it can turn positive, then it is negative, then it is positive. We are very unreliable human beings, aren't we? So we need to look after the positive. If we have found something truly positive in the Dharma, we should be very careful not to lose it. We should be very, very careful to protect it. And think about what our life would be without the Dharma. It says somewhere in the teachings that old practitioners easily become like an old butter bag. An old butter bag, their heads encrusted in salt. That's a very, very Tibetan saying, with a butter bag and the salty butter in a leather bag. So it says that we are like this, us as students initially when we start on the Dharma path, we are like a fresh bag of soft leather. Like our minds are supple and soft and flexible. But then as we in time and over years and we receive teachings, it's like the butter that goes into the bag. It's the nectar of the Dharma that enters our mind. Initially, yes, we absorb it and we take it in. We are soft and pliable. But then with time, as we hear many, many teachings and as we feel maybe, I have practice, but I'm not sure it's really working, or whatever is going on in our life or in our mind, if it starts to become hard, if our mind starts to become hard, it's like that leather of a bag that has had this butter inside it for years and years and years, and after a while the leather cannot absorb the butter anymore, and the salt starts to seep through on the outside. So we don't want to become a practitioner like that. As practitioners, we need to keep that supple, flexible mind from beginning till end. Otherwise we won't reach this, as it says here, reach Buddhahood. How can we benefit if we develop a rigid, negative mind? How can we develop how can we grow on the Dharma, grow positive qualities if we become negative about the Dharma and if we lose trust in the Dharma? How can we grow and develop in our mental qualities if we are rigid and set in our ways? So, Padamba Sand is here. Make sure you apply this protection of joyful perseverance. The protection, he says, don the armor of this strength. We need to have strength in our Dharma path. The strength, that means that we don't get pulled into the negative so easily. We are not so easily influenced by our own negativity, by our own negative chatter, our own negative habits, our own negative mind, our own negative tendencies, our pleasures. It is all about our own application and our own skill and how we apply the Dharma. Like the Buddha said, I can only give you the Dharma, I can only tell you this and this and this, but you have to walk the path yourself. There's no one who can really do it for you. We all individually are responsible for our own mindsets. We cannot blame our past, we cannot blame our parents, we cannot blame our childhood, we cannot blame anything really, because even if we had difficult childhoods, even if we've had lots of obstacles in our life, no one really other than ourselves can establish our own inner peace. No one apart from ourselves can develop our own inner joyfulness and happiness and contentment and Buddhahood, as Padamba Sangye is talking about. So whatever happens in life, it's up to us, really, how we deal with that. And we need perseverance, is what the message is here in this verse. We need perseverance and strength and the armor of the protection of appreciation. We need to hold on so much, so hard, like grasp so strongly that connection we have with the Dharma, and don't let it go. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. So then he goes on to say, habitual tendencies, being old acquaintances, keep on coming back. Don't go on following the past. Old tendencies, old acquaintances. It's like having bad friends. Old acquaintances, our old tendencies. They keep coming back because we don't know how to move forward. We don't know how to move on from the past. We hold on to the past. Just don't go on following the past. So when we sit in meditation, watch your mind. When you sit in meditation, what preoccupies you in your meditation? Where does it take you? I'm assuming maybe that you are preoccupied. Maybe that's a wrong assumption. Maybe you are perfectly clear in your meditation. Maybe you're not distracted at all. But if you are distracted, when you are distracted, then look at what is it that pulls you away from the meditation. Is it the past? Is it the future? Is it old resentments? Is it worries? Is it worries about the future, anxieties about the future? Something that you cannot let go of in the past. So that's what we have to deal with. We should not be sitting in our meditation and thinking through these issues. We should not be thinking about all these things that happened in the past and feeling that maybe we can find some sort of conclusion and some sort of resolution and an answer by going over that story again and again and again. That is not meditation, that is not Dharma, that is being stuck. We are stuck. We are fixated. We cannot let go. The Dharma tells us again and again we need to learn to let go. Our problem is not being able to let go. If we want to free ourselves, we're like somebody who we tie ourselves up with strings and ropes and chains, and we have so many things holding us down, and at the same time we are complaining that we are not free. We don't feel free. So we need to cut those ropes. We need to stop tying ourselves down. Stop, imprisoning ourselves in past events or future anxieties. And try and be more present. Not to be so much in, not to believe in those thoughts. All the time thinking. So these habitual tendencies, whatever they are, first we need to recognize them and then we need to let them go, learn to let them go. That's what we are training to do in our sessions, but also throughout any time of the day, post-meditation, whenever you can. Try to be mindful, let go, and just observe where your mind is getting sidetracked and distracted, and try and bring it back to a positive focus. Then you are applying the Dharma if you are able to do that.